Now a WESH 2 exclusive. The mother of a teen murdered outside this local skating rink says she's stunned after the killer was released early. This is 16-year-old Kennedy Williams. The teen who stabbed her to death faced up to 6 years in a juvenile rehabilitation center, but he got out 2 weeks ago after just 18 months in custody. We took Kennedy's mother with her grief, her anger, and her questions to meet face to face with State Attorney Monique Worrell.
This was just such a slap in the face.
It hasn't been 2 years since Jasmine Stringer's life was upended, the night her oldest daughter, Kennedy, was murdered in an attack outside Astro Skate in Orange County.
Oh my God!
All of it recorded by teens on cell phones. Now the woman who held her daughter as she bled to death says she feels victimized all over again.
It's broken, it's unfair, and it's heartbreaking.
The news came in a phone call from the state attorney's office.
I almost felt just as bad as I felt when I heard Kennedy was dead.
The teen charged with Kennedy's murder, sentenced to 6 years in a rehabilitation program, is now free after serving just 18 months. Because this case was handled in juvenile court, WESH 2 is not naming the teen who killed Kennedy.
It feels like it was just pushed off a desk. It was rushed through. And it's disgusting.
You're right. 18 months is not enough.
When State Attorney Monique Worrell heard about the teen's release, she wanted to meet with Jasmine.
What you're speaking to is a very broken system. And on behalf of that broken system, I apologize.
Worrell was not the state attorney when this case was prosecuted in 2024. Still, her office was the one who called Jasmine when it received news of the early release. And she explained to both of us when and why juvenile offenders are released is defined by state law. And it's not based on time served, but a series of program conditions set and controlled by the Department of Juvenile Justice.
Once those conditions have been completed, then the person is released.
And it doesn't matter how much time has passed.
And it doesn't matter how much time has passed. And to the initial comment that you made, how? How is that even possible that a kid who commits a murder can be rehabilitated within 18 months? And I think we all can say unequivocally they can't.
It's why Worrell is backing a proposed law redefining what rehabilitation looks like for kids who commit serious crimes in Florida.
Rehabilitation has to be more than just simply checking boxes of completion of a program. And that could actually keep a child in the system at least until their 21st birthday. At least until then.
The state attorney believes the answer isn't always adult charges for teens either. Prison, she says, lacks any rehabilitation for a juvenile.
But there is a wide range of things that we can do in between those two extremes of 18 months and life in prison that could appropriately address a child who commits the most serious offense that a child could commit.
For Jasmine, any change will come too late.
The person who did this was protected more. He mattered more. His age mattered. A rehabilitation program for him mattered more than my daughter. And I don't want to feel like I let my daughter down because nobody cared.
Right now, what happens to the offender after their program conditions are met is handled by the Department of Juvenile Justice and a judge. It does not include the victim or prosecutors. Worrell says without a law change,
I can't look at you and assure you that this won't happen again. I can't look at the people of this community and assure them that this won't happen again. We can never assure them that it won't happen again, but I can't even tell you that we've made our best efforts to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
And Nancy, what we just heard right there from Monique Worrell, I think is touching because she can't guarantee that it won't happen again. Not just a child being murdered, which we know will happen, but a child offender being able to get out in 18 months.
Yeah, this is a problem for all of us,
Back in
right?
our communities, back in our schools.
Exactly. I mean, these are kids that are being released, as you mentioned, right back in our communities, our schools. And as Monique Worrell said, there really doesn't seem to be a guarantee that they're all rehabilitated fully to be able to cope back with life. So it's a very difficult situation on both sides. The Department of Juvenile Justice doesn't offer specifics about any cases because they deal with children, but they did tell us teens involved in violent crimes are put under what's called conditional release and do remain under the supervision of the department.
What are those conditions? Do we know?
So in Jasmine's case, we do know that he was told that he can't contact her or her family members. But beyond that, she doesn't know how he will be supervised or for how long.
Wow.
One mom, one victim, one family not getting the justice that they probably most likely and definitely deserved.
Absolutely. Great reporting. Thank you, Ned.